I made the big switcheroo. Let my horse out, put the other one in. Partly because my horse, being in there, oh, you want to know bad. And the problem, building a fence like this, the wire and the posts or the rails, those treated pieces are nailed on the outside. Well, they can't take as much pressure. If something's pushing from the inside, they'll come off easier than if it's pushing from the outside. And he was pushing. In fact, he was really working at this gate. So I got a safety chain on the gate, because this gate is really a light-duty gate. It's not meant to really hold. Well, honestly, it takes one hell of a fence to hold an animal if they're determined to get in or out. You just have to intimidate them. Make it so it's not worth their while. So I think I got him. I kept him in, all last night, but it was a lot of noise, because when she'd come over, she'd get right up close to the fence here. Oh, he'd get all excited. He'd make a lunge at her. She'd kick the fence. The one panel's kind of bowed in from her kicking the fence. So I think it'll work better this way. And now, plus, I can let my dogs run loose. I didn't dare let the dogs out yesterday for fear that they would spook her. I think this will work a little better, because now my dogs, they pay no attention. And there's no place for her to panic and run into. So I think this will be okay. And what I did do was put up that long skinny tarp. That odd, 7 by 15 or whatever the hell that thing was that I got at that rummage sale. Until I can get that snow fence up or that windbreak. Because it was cold, even now it's not much above zero. And there was a wind yesterday all night. So I gave him some, she went over and stood in the pine trees, but she kept coming back. She'd go over there, he'd whinny, she'd come over here, then all hell would break loose, then she'd go back again. So it was just a torment for him. And he'll be circling this thing tonight. But they're getting better, they're getting much better. Because at first he was just wild. And she was a little spooked, but she's made journeys up and down and around, covered a little ground. But she was on the road all the time. She never had a chance to eat. So I've been feeding her grain and corn, and, corn on a cob like that. And evidently she's never seen that before. That was a new one to her. She didn't know how to handle them. Mine just takes them in his mouth like a cigar and chomps the corn off him. She has to wrestle them around on the ground. But I'm going to give her some oats, and I think everything will be fine. I think it'll be quieter tonight. But good, nice animal. She's in real nice shape, and she, you can walk right up to her. She isn't, I actually walked up to her when I made the big switcheroo, which was a trick. I had to use the M37 to block part of the gate and let him out, and then quick open the gate and scurry her in. It went smooth. But there'll be some pacing tonight. But I think this would be better for her to be in here for now. For a couple days, that's what I'm thinking. Just because, like, even now, I could let her out and she'd be fine, but I'd sooner let her settle in a little more. Let him cool down some. Well, she's busy. He found a good patch of dirt to roll in, and then the dogs get excited when they see him flopping around on the ground. Because I think he worked up a sweat being penned up in here. He's got her pretty well pounded out in here, though. Good ground packer. And he'll have the outside packed tonight. But I think this will be better. No, I'm very pleased with her. She's quite happy. I think she's just happy to have company again instead of a cow. Cows aren't the intellectual equivalent of a horse. But it is funny, she looks so much like my other one. Except that my other one, I think the one brown spot was on the other side. That's the only difference. And she might be a little bit different shade. I think a darker brown. Mine was more of a reddish, but good horse.